The Static Man. I work on transmission towers. Yeah, I know. Weird job. Most people look up at those red blinking lights and never think about the guy who has to climb them when something breaks. But that's me. Hundreds of feet in the air. Just metal, wind, and sky. Do I get scared? Not anymore. Not since my first year. But this was the first time I felt that fear again. It was late October when I got the call. Rural job. Middle of nowhere. A signal issue on an older tower that had been standing since the 70s. No nearby town. No houses. Just flat land and dying cornfields stretching forever. When I pulled up, the sun was already sinking. The sky looked bruised, purple and orange bleeding together. The tower stood alone. Tall. Too tall. The red light at the top blinked slowly. Like a heartbeat. I stepped out of the truck, and the first thing I noticed was how quiet it was. No birds. No insects. No wind. Just silence. Even my boots crunching on gravel sounded wrong. Too loud. Like something was listening. I shrugged it off. I've worked worse. I clipped in and started climbing. If you've never climbed a transmission tower, let me explain something. You don't just go up. You commit. Because once you're 200 feet in the air, there's no quick way down. Halfway up, the air changed. It got colder. That's normal, sure. Higher elevation. But this wasn't that. This was sudden. Like stepping into a freezer. I paused it. And that's when I heard it. Static. Faint at first. Like a radio between stations. I looked down. My truck sat below tiny now. No one around. No radio on. The static got louder. Then it shifted. It wasn't static. It was whispering. I froze. It sounded like multiple voices talking over each other. Too layered to make out words. I told myself it was wind through the tower. Except there was no wind. The cornfields below weren't moving. My clothes weren't moving. But the whispering continued. And it was getting clearer. Come back. I nearly lost my grip. I looked around. There was no one. We fell. My chest tightened. I climbed faster. I don't know why. Instinct maybe. Like if I reached the top, it would stop. But the higher I climbed, the louder it became. Don't look down. I made the mistake of looking down. For a split second, I swear I didn't see the ground. I saw shapes. Dark shapes wrapped around the tower. Like shadows clinging to the metal. And they were looking up at me. I blinked and they were gone. Just fields. Just gravel. Just my truck. I told myself I was dehydrated. Overworked. Tired. I kept climbing. About 30 feet from the top, something hit the tower. Hard. The entire structure shuddered. I slammed against the metal. My hand slipped. For one heart-stopping second, my boot lost its footing. I dangled, harness digging into my ribs. The whispering turned into screaming. Not loud screaming. Distant screaming. Like it was coming through old speakers. Don't let him go. He's not one of us. My vision blurred. And then, something brushed my leg. Not wind. Not metal. Something cold. I jerked violently, almost unclipping myself. I looked down, and I saw it. A face, half-formed, stretched and flickering like interference on a broken TV. It was coming out of the tower itself, like it was made of static and shadow. Its mouth opened. No eyes. Just a hollow distortion. I screamed and clawed my way back up, gripping metal until my palms split open. I didn't stop until I reached the top platform. The whispering stopped instantly. Total silence. Up there, everything felt normal again. The sky was dark now. The first stars barely visible. My breathing echoed inside my helmet. No faces. No static. I laughed. Nervous. Shaky. Just stress, I muttered. I fixed the signal box in record time. Didn't even double-check my work. I just wanted down. The descent was worse. It's always worse going down. You can see how far you'll fall. About halfway down, I noticed something. The red warning light above me had stopped blinking. It was solid now. Steady red. I didn't remember it doing that. Then my radio crackled. I hadn't turned it on. Static filled my ears. Then a voice. My voice. Don't look down. My stomach dropped. Slowly, I looked down. This time there was no field. No truck. No ground. Just darkness. And in that darkness, hundreds of flickering faces. All staring up. All distorted. All climbing. Up the tower. Toward me. Metal began to groan. The structure vibrated violently. Hands made of shadow and interference grabbed the beams below. Climbing. Vast. I tried to descend quicker, but my hands were shaking. The whispering returned, but now it wasn't layered. It was unified. One voice. You heard us. The faces reached my boots. Cold fingers wrapped around my ankle. I kicked, screamed, lost my footing. My harness caught me, but the thing attached to my leg didn't let go. It began to pull, not down, through the metal, like the tower was water. My leg started sinking into the beam. Pain exploded through me. It felt like being electrocuted and frozen at the same time. I clawed at the structure, but my fingers slipped. My body followed, slowly, piece by piece, passing into the tower. The last thing I saw was the red light above, blinking again, back to normal, as if nothing had happened. The next morning, another crew came out. They found my truck, my tools, my harness still clipped halfway up the tower, but no body, no blood, no sign of struggle. They say maybe I fell, but they never found me. And sometimes, late at night, when the signal glitches, if you stand beneath that tower, you can hear static. And if you listen close, you might hear my voice telling you not to climb.